think it helps in the sense of creating that inner critic or inner reader who can evaluate the work. If you're not a reader, then if you look at your own work, of course there are always exceptions. There are always exceptions, and you can say that I'm writing in a different form or a different, maybe something that has never been. Why Arma, was he the one? Why are the beautiful? You can say that. But generally, for most of us, if you're a good reader, it's easy to read your own work and to revise it and to put it in a form where it belongs to a genre or to a, what I say, kind of a world culture of writing, that people expect. But there are always exceptions, and although I think it's like any, when you're doing something new, once you master the old, then you're comfortable with the new. You don't arrive at the new by accident. It's when you mastered it that somehow, like you can do what Gabriel Marquez did, that he did something different, but of course he spent a long time learning. Well, partly, but when I was growing up, I was reading some Tanzanian writers, because they exist except those who wrote Swahili poetry. Because as I said, at some point writing culture has become a world culture. And you just read a good story, and if it's a good story wherever it's set, it will touch you. I was very skeptical about one Canadian author, her writing was set in a small town, I will not name her, in Ontario, and I said, what does that setting have to do with my life? I come from the tropics, people shout at each other, they live close to each other, they live in congested houses, the parents yell at their kids. Here you have a straight-laced, very, waspish background, Protestant. But then, one day I was forced to read her whole collection because I was a member of a jury. And then I realized that, it does touch me. There is a strength in the writing that was really, it was great collection. So wherever the book is set, there's something that will touch you. And this is what in your writing also tries to do, to bridge that gap. When you write something from here and read somewhere in South America or wherever, people will know, yes, of course, I'm also, because at the end of the day, we are all human. There's that basic humanity in all of us that we appeal to. And if you can touch that in your writing, then you've done it. You start a small library. A library with maybe short story collections. And of course a lot of African writing, because otherwise you get into a trap of always reading about elsewhere. Book clubs, of course, but one can have a serious book club. When we were in school, that's what they used to encourage us. At all our schools had libraries, very active libraries. So I think and short stories are fast to read, so